What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Great.
Excellent.
Excelente. I like it. What?
What?
We always go after Antonio in the beginning. I want to keep it a tradition.
First 30 seconds we have to attack you.
Leave me alone.
All right, so we got some football news. Huge news coming out of Europe for Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. Then some baseball.
Possible Mbappe move too.
Possible Mbappe move. A lot of stuff going on in soccer recently, which I think is good. So yeah, where do we want to start? Football?
Unfortunately, the breaking news of J.K. Dobbins tearing his ACL is
tough news.
Very
Baltimore.
Very unfortunate for the Baltimore Ravens.
Very unfortunate for the Baltimore Ravens and a guy that is on many fantasy radars.
If you had your fantasy draft already and you drafted him,
I'm sorry.
I'll pour one out for you.
I think the good news is I think most people who are really into football realize that he wasn't like a main.
I think he was definitely being overdrafted where he was. I think he was like an early third or late second round pick.
And I think he's a
bit
solid RB2 if you have that set up in your league. But it's like
I definitely think he was his average draft position was like way too high. Like
even
they were
last
overshooting
year,
it.
I could say the same thing.
If you were drafting him there, like the best season he realistically can have is probably like top 8, like top 7, top 8.
And that would most likely be with a lot of touchdowns.
Yes. And in that offense, you're definitely not guaranteed to get that many touchdowns. So he definitely was being drafted at a ceiling. So I think at this point, Gus Edwards comes in and takes 80% of the work. I could see them signing like a Todd Gurley type, which is disgusting, but I don't hate it.
Are you trying to like call a shot there?
Maybe, but
like
I definitely think they bring in a running back because they're not going to just have Gus Edwards run.
I mean, they have a running back at quarterback.
That's
I really
also
feel like
true.
They don't need it.
It's also true. I definitely could see like
That's what I mean.
I was gonna say Mark Ingram, but he's on the Texans.
Yeah,
but
they got rid of him. He always is hopping around.
Some veteran is definitely going to go there and take like 25% of the touches.
Adrian Peterson.
I love that. I don't. He could be 50, and I'd be like Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Frank Gore.
Is he still kicking it?
I don't know.
Did he retire?
I think he might have retired.
I think recently.
He was on the
Jets for 2 years, and Adam Gase was feeding him the ball, like feeding him.
When was he on the Bills?
The year before that.
That was before. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's probably.
I would hope at this point he's done.
They might actually. He might still be on the Jets.
Frank Gore and Princess. What's the old princess name? Princess Elizabeth or whatever, or Queen Elizabeth? Not Princess Elizabeth.
Princess Diana.
Queen Elizabeth, the old lady.
Yeah.
They're the same people. They're
really?
Eternal. They're forever. Like they're
eternal.
Queen Elizabeth lacing them up. Huh? She's a tank.
She's like 1,000,000 years old. Like she's literally 1,000,000.
No, just die. Hand it off to someone else.
Literally.
Yeah, she'll hand it off to the other old ass heir.
Like who's probably 75 years old at this point.
He's in his upper 70s.
Makes sense. That's how the royal family always works.
They're just always old. They're never young.
So does Baltimore take a step back from this, or is it not really that big? I mean, obviously it's a big deal losing your starting running back, but
it is. But I don't think it's like a
really
devastating blow. I think they can still. I didn't predict them to, but I think they can still win that division. Still going to be in the playoffs. It's nothing.
I just think instead of it being Lamar and J.K., it would have been it's just Lamar and Gus Edwards now because.
Yeah, you most likely
had Gus Edwards doing a bunch. Like he had a heavy workload last season, no? Because Mark Ingram was out.
It was like 50-40. Like Dobbins had like 50% of the work. Gus had 40% of the work.
So now it's just going to be like 50-50 Lamar, and they're still going to play the same way that they always have.
Does this make him throw the ball more? I would say yes.
Maybe like a little bit more.
I think they need to sacrifice some of their comfortability in order to try to get Lamar to push the ball down the field. So like Lamar
they have Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews.
Their weapons aren't great.
I was gonna say the receiving cores.
They need Rashad Bateman back. I don't know when he's coming back from his injury, but if you have Bateman and Andrews and Marquise Brown, that's at least somewhat of a threat on offense. Lamar's not the best passer of the football, but if you can get him in a rhythm where he's comfortable throwing whatever, like 10 or 15 times more than he normally would, that's actually a lot, but like 5 to 10 times more a game than he normally would, then at that point in the playoffs, when it becomes a tight game and he needs to start making throws, he might have a better rhythm or consistency where it makes a lot more sense for that team. Because what has he shown in the last 3 playoffs? They're great. They get up to a certain point. Then as soon as they get down, Lamar cannot throw them back into the game.
I think that they're just so regimented that once they get to the playoffs and actually play like a decent team that can figure them out, like it's just like it's so easy to stop what they're doing because they just do the same thing
all
over
the time
and over and over. They never adapt to what is coming at them, which I think is imperative in the playoffs. You have to be able to adapt. If one thing isn't working, if smash mouth Lamar Jackson straight down your gut isn't working, you got to figure out some other way to win.
I'm sure he's all for figuring out some other way to do it too, because I mean, you hear the press conferences after these back-to-back years in playoff losses. He's talking about how much it eats him up, and he's like, he's like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be known for coming up short in the playoffs every time I get the opportunity to play.
I do think they're really hard on him though. Like,
I completely agree.
I get it because they came from like, Ray Lewis, Joe Flacco, like those teams that were really fucking good. And then like you get a talent like Lamar Jackson and they can't do anything with it. And it's frustrating if I were a fan of the Ravens, but at the same time, like it takes, I mean, like the more you pay attention to it, the bigger the curse is going to be. If you're just like, oh, it's all right, we'll get him next year. If you have that sort of mentality, it lifts a lot off of him where he's like, oh man. Because then now he's going to get to the playoffs and he's going to shit his pants again because he's like, oh, my God, I have to win or I'm like, they're going to kill me.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree with that because at some point when it's just a reoccurring thing every season, when, maybe you win a playoff game against the Titans, yes, and that was a good win. But when you're losing to the Bills, losing to Tennessee the previous year, whoever he lost to his first season in the playoffs, it's just over and over and over again. You get up on Baltimore, they cannot come back in a game. That's the whole dynamic with that team. If they get out to a 7 or 14-0 lead, they're very hard to beat. But you cannot guarantee that in a playoff game. You just can't.
And that's just with the amount of ball possession that they get. Time of possession is their key factor in if they win or not.
Which it seems like in the regular season they're way better at controlling the clock. I feel like in the postseason they have a lot of short drives. Like they'll go like.
They do.
They'll go like 5 plays and 10 yards, and then they'll punt, or they'll go like.
That's what I mean.
Like they don't
short
like
possessions where they're not getting out of their own territory.
Yeah, I agree. So now what? You want to go to the Cam Newton thing?
So I have an interesting theory about this. So Cam Newton was out for 5 days with a COVID protocol issue. Whatever. I don't know what the technical term for it.
What was the rule?
So I guess because he was unvaccinated, he was supposed to he had to get tested, but I guess he wasn't supposed to like go off the team's site or team something. I don't know what exactly the rule was, but basically because he was unvaccinated and like either missed a test or did something, he was out of the facility for 5 days. So the New England Patriots don't miss rules. Like they know the rule book front to back and back to front. Mm-hmm. My theory about this is they think Matt Jones is better and they want Matt Jones to start, but they don't want to just outright say Matt Jones is the starter over Cam Newton. He lit it up last week. He was great all week in practice. He's played great in the preseason. I don't think he's thrown 1 interception. I think he's like 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think I would not be that shocked after what happened this week that Matt Jones is the week 1 starter for the New England Patriots.
Who do they play week 1?
We play the Dolphins at home. I could say right now it's 60-40 Matt Jones. And I didn't think that way a week ago.
It's very tough because, I mean, like you said, Cam Newton played pretty damn good in past week in preseason games. You said he did good in practice, but Bill Belichick is the coach. He wants to do whatever he thinks it takes for the team to win. Do I really believe that Bill Belichick thinks that starting Mac Jones week 1 is going to put his team in the best chance to win in longevity over the season? I'm not so sure.
Well, here's my take on it. Just to play devil's advocate, because I like doing that. But with these COVID rules, I feel like they're so new that people still don't understand them.
That's fair.
Because that's a very new rule, right? Like they probably put it in
either this
a
year.
month ago,
Yeah, I
like
think
before before preseason started. So that I think like to his point with Bill, if he thought Mac Jones was better, he would just come out and say it. He would just start Mac Jones. He wouldn't care.
He wouldn't come out and say it, but he would say Mac Jones is a starting quarterback.
He wouldn't go through that. I think if he really thought, like, you know what I mean.
This decision is coming this week, and if it says breaking news, Mac Jones is the Week 1 starter,
I'm not surprised.
I'm not gonna be surprised. But if you told me a week ago Mac Jones was the Week 1 starter, I would have been a lot more surprised.
Because I mean, from what I've seen, it's been all out of the Patriots like camp and everything. It's just been all Mac Jones. He's incredible. Mac Jones. That makes me skeptical, but at the same time, like, I'm happy that he's doing well. But we have to see it in a real game first.
It is preseason. It is training camp. It is against your second and third stringers. So it's not like you can count on
like
what he's.
We've heard these stories.
Guys, You're playing against guys who are probably not going to see any time in the NFL ever.
At all.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the real competition. And the other thing I think too is playing Miami Week 1 against Flores. Like, I don't think Belichick wants to lose that game.
Oh no, not at all. Especially
especially against.
That's a terrible way to open up your season too. I think we missed this. Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, that's the most likely trade destination.
Is very not.
Dolphins.
I don't want to say very likely, but he like the number one trade target for them is the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I guess.
Which
trade
I think
talks
we said in the
up.
beginning.
We did, but
Which
at
made
this,
sense.
but
yeah,
at
that
the
was one of the teams.
At the same time, I don't think any of us expected him to play this year, or like at least for most of the year.
I didn't know what he was going to do. I was like, you either are not playing or you're going.
That's what I mean. I kind of gave up on what was going on there.
I said he's not taking a snap for the Texans this year, and I still 100% believe that.
I don't think he can after what he's come out and said, and like he clearly doesn't want to play there.
I don't know if I'm the Texans, I need him off my roster ASAP. Like, I need him off there yesterday.
Yeah, like, what are you waiting for?
No, because what happens?
Because
what happens if the NFL cracks down and says he's out for a year or out for whatever? Then his trade value plummets.
Gone.
If you trade him now, with whatever's looming in this investigation or whatever,
it has to be now.
And you can get 3 first-round picks or 2 first-round picks or what. So realistically, in my mind, I think the trade is Tua for Watson and like 2 first-round picks. I think that makes the most sense.
That's also a tough spot for the Dolphins because they're so high on Tua, and it's like you basically admit that you were wrong.
I don't know that they are. Yeah. I think they have to say that they're high on Tua.
I mean, but that's what they've said, and like that. Like,
but they have,
whether they are or not, it doesn't matter.
They know they made a mistake. Herbert was the pick there, and everyone said that they were taking Herbert there, and they just decided to take Tua for whatever reason. So, at that point, you definitely made a mistake, and if you can fix it by getting Deshaun Watson in the building, regardless of his situation, I would do that if I was Miami in a heartbeat.
Which I think, I mean, trading him might like reignite this whole flame, but I think that the whole thing with allegations against him have kind of burnt out. Like, have we heard any? I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard much
in a few weeks
since it first came out, and like there were more than one girls coming out, whatever. Like, I haven't heard shit about it, and I don't know if it's because they're pending litigation or whatever it may be. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, trading Tua for Deshaun, I don't think Miami fans would be disappointed. I don't think they'd be mad.
I think they would be.
Oh my god, if I was a Dolphins fan, I'd be so happy.
Did you see the meme that it was like massage therapists when they see Deshaun's going to Miami, or like Miami massage? I'm butchering it, but you know what I mean. And it was like a baby crying and putting their hands over the face.
and then Robert Kraft too.
Yeah.
Robert Kraft.
That's where I thought you were going. I thought you were gonna make a Robert Kraft joke.
No, I did butcher that though.
Whatever. But Deshaun in Miami probably makes them the second best team in the AFC, realistically.
And that makes it even tougher for the Patriots.
Well, at that point,
that means there's 4
way tougher because,
like, obviously the Jets are the weak link, but I mean,
well, I was gonna say at that point you're probably not a top 5 team in the AFC if you're New England.
coming from where the AFC East was just 5 years ago to now is incredible because
every team sucked.
Like the Patriots have come down, right? And all these other 3 teams are coming back up.
It's a complete 180 for sure. Because all like the Bills were bad for so long.
Because the Bills and Dolphins were so bad.
The Jets have always been bad.
Like it was literally just the Patriots. The Bills were always like the better of the 3, but it was just like
it was 8-8.
Yeah,
and
they
7.
were being really mediocre. I think it's quite comical actually.
It's going to be interesting to see how the AFC shakes out because I don't think we'd get more than one. No, we probably did 2 AFC East teams, but I don't think we'd get more than one from the South, and I would say maybe one from the North. I think the AFC West has 2. I think the AFC East has 2. So the Baltimore J.K. Dobbins thing, like we said, is very interesting, but Cleveland, Kansas City, Buffalo, probably Indy or Tennessee are like your division winners and looking like the powerhouses of the AFC right now. So if Miami can shake that up with Deshaun Watson, it definitely could be a power shift for sure.
I'm still not as high on the Colts as you are.
I love the Colts. You hate Carson Wentz.
I was just about to say we're expecting Carson Wentz to be starting week 1, correct?
So yes,
it's still shaky though.
He's back at practice. He's not like fully like engaged in practice, but he's doing all the workouts and all that other crap.
But not even. I mean, like the whole thing with Carson Wentz aside, I really don't think that they're.
So you think with a healthy Carson Wentz that they won the division, right?
I do.
I do not.
But I mean, isn't Quentin Nelson out for the year now? Or not out for the year, but he's out for a good chunk of it.
I think he's out for a couple of weeks. I don't think he's out for anything crazy. Unless, did he have a new injury?
Or is it the same? Foot injury.
No, he's coming back. He's coming back soon. I think they said week 1 or week 2 that he's playing.
And isn't it funny that they went from
5 to 12 weeks to they were back in a couple of weeks? I think
he hates football, bro.
I think it was just to like
he went back to the doctor and they were like, "You're not that hurt."
Well, I think what they did was just try to like lessen the expectations on him. They didn't want to like say like he'll be back in 2 weeks, and then
there shouldn't be expectations on him. There shouldn't be.
What did he do? Like, what did he do to you?
But I mean,
did he like?
I just
there's somewhat
people saying he's good. He's not good. He's not.
It's not about him
good.
being all right. So
the expectations under like the hope for him to perform better, because the last time he had a good season was when he played with Frank Reich. So there's some quarterbacks that just work out better with certain coaches, certain systems.
Serious question: Phillip Rivers last year or Carson Wentz? Right now?
Come on.
Who's the better quarterback?
That's fine, but it doesn't move like.
It moves the needle a little bit.
I'd rather have Andy Dalton over Carson Wentz. If they went out and got Andy Dalton, and then say,
so you're telling me if they had Andy Dalton right now, you would take them to win the division?
Well, no. Top of their game.
I don't think they're as good as you guys say.
Top of their game. Who's better?
I think they have probably the second or third best roster.
Top of the game. Andy Dalton's better. Both top their games. Andy Dalton is better. He did a lot better with worse.
I don't agree.
I really do disagree.
Carson Wentz's ceiling is very high. Andy Dalton is a very low ceiling, high floor type of guy.
His ceiling is one MVP season.
Carson Wentz, yes.
One MVP season.
All right, so he has.
And he had a season where he played like shit, and then he's better.
He has the offensive. So this is
he has the best offensive line.
This is all pie, this is all pie in the sky. I get it, but he has the best offensive line that he's had probably since his rookie year. He has the same offensive coordinator he had his rookie year that he loves and played with for however many seasons in Philly. He's got a good running back. He's got a great running back.
Very good running back.
And he's got
some great running back with a great offensive line.
And he's got some talent on the outside. I'm not saying he's got to be MVP this year. That's not my point. If he's better than Phillip Rivers is last year, they're going to win more games than they did.
Defensive side of the ball also is very good.
Their defense is a year older. They were top 5 last year?
So if they win that division, it'll be because he's having an MVP type season.
I think he can be good and they win the division. That's my point. I don't think he has to throw 50 touchdowns or 40 touchdowns.
I can see him easily throwing 25 around there.
Of that.
Could you see him throwing 25 touchdowns? 26?
I'd say 20 at the most.
I don't know.
I think he could easily have 30 to 35 touchdowns this year, easily. And I think that
that's him playing at like the top of his game, like MVP type season.
Get hurt, like he always.
I'm not going to be that generous, but
I'm a realist.
I hate this because I know it's going to be like week 6 and he's going to get hurt. And Nolan's going to come on and be like, Yeah, Carson Wentz.
I never say I told you so. I never say I told you so. I will never say I told you so. It's literally just in the trend. What is the trend? He gets hurt a lot. So am I surprised if he gets hurt? No, I wasn't surprised when he had that foot injury. I wasn't surprised. I laughed because I was like, they're idiots.
I just think that
he hates football.
I really think that team wins the division.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
It's fair point with your concern with the injury thing, but if he is fully healthy, I see no reason why he's going to play like garbage.
I'm not mad
in that situation.
I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the people that think he's God. That's the people I have a gripe with.
I haven't heard many of those people anymore. Because those are mostly Philly
not
fans.
Anymore, right?
Well,
not anymore,
they're
right?
mostly Philadelphia fans.
Yeah, Philadelphia fans, obviously not. Ooh, can we pivot to that? Gardner Minshew going to the Eagles?
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
He's
You didn't
third
know that?
Mm-mm.
He's third on the depth chart, though.
Philly fans were pretty pissed.
Who's second? Joe Flacco.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's on the Jets.
No.
He's not.
He's on the Eagles.
I thought he was still on the Jets.
No, he's definitely on the
He's
Eagles.
not.
So
I mean,
is it just a insurance policy? Is it we don't believe in Jalen Hurts?
I don't know, but Philly fans were
upset.
I was reading a lot on Twitter.
I like Gardner Minshew.
I mean, it's really hard to make Philly fans happy, but at the same time, it's like
you could say Christmas is every day, and Philly fans would be like, "I fucking hate Christmas." Like,
yeah, no, Philly people are so angry about their teams.
This is my instant reaction. I just don't understand that. If I'm Philadelphia, I mean, they definitely didn't give up anything, but at the same time, you got Joe. All right, Joe Flacco. If Jalen Hurts gets hurt, is not going to do you anything. So maybe they have some sort of expectation that they're going to make the playoffs this year, and they really want someone to come in if something happens to Hurts. But at the same time, it's like
that's a really weird insurance.
Yeah,
policy.
it's just they love backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't love their whole quarterback.
Maybe it is the thing where they
right
don't
now.
like Flacco, and they want something other than Flacco, in case shit hits the fan with Jalen.
But at
Hurts.
that point, you don't need to carry three. If you don't like Flacco, cut him. Like literally, just cut him.
Oh yeah, what's your intention with Flacco? Like, why is he there? What are you doing?
If he's not your backup,
Pretty sure they
cut him.
didn't give up much for him. I think it was like a 6th-round pick, and if they make the playoffs, it's a 5th-round pick. Something. It was like a provisional.
Yeah, so at that point, I get it. Like at least get like a talented backup on your roster. Like I would have no problem having Gardner Minshew as my backup quarterback.
No, absolutely
I just
not.
thought it was very interesting.
Well, yeah, but that causes some sort of doubt, at least in my mind, that they don't fully back Jalen Hurts 100% because you're not.
Because I haven't been paying. I mean,
it's not like
time-
Gardner Minshew's old either.
no,
Oh,
he's
well,
super
he's
young.
a rookie like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so
right?
it's like he has some
He had a good rookie year.
He has some upside. Like I could see him being like a decent starting quarterback, like consistently in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know.
But now you know what's funny is, say Trevor Lawrence isn't good.
Well, they would never like go to the backup, but say Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. I don't even
Like
know.
a Joe Burrow situation. Who do they have? They have nothing.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you want Gardner
Who's
Minshew?
their I'm blanking on his name. Their backup.
Quarterback?
Yeah.
No
it's-
idea, but
It's
I'll-
some like no name guy. Didn't we think it was like Mike Glennon or something?
Oh, it might be.
I think Mike Glennon's the backup on the Giants, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? He gets bounced around
He
so much.
sucks.
Jake Luton, dude, and CJ Beathard.
CJ Beathard. That was the guy I was thinking of.
CJ Beathard sucks. CJ Beathard just eats chew all day. Like he loves that. Like
Those are guys like him, like Mike Glennon. Those are guys that are just making a living, just being backups and being third strings. They don't care about playing. They're just like, put me on a roster and pay me.
Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley loves backing up the starting quarterback. But then he comes in the preseason, he throws 2 touchdowns.
Those are type guys that I just know never want to play in a starting, like, you know what I mean? Like, I played basketball in high school, and I played JV. I never wanted to play varsity. I never wanted to play varsity. I was just there to play basketball. I didn't want those problems, right?
I mean, if you're a backup quarterback making a couple $1 million a year and you're holding the clipboard all game, like that's not a bad
That's
gig.
sick.
That's
What
not.
the
What am I mad about?
You just go throw a ball around in practice, and you just help. Like, you just help.
Sure, I love it.
Like,
Yeah, and
they just get to sit there and help Trevor Lawrence. They're
you
just
get a
like,
few
yeah, go
months of the
ahead.
year off. Why not?
If you had to guess the top 5 NFL top 100 players, who would you say is in that?
Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Donald. That's 2.
Okay. Yes.
I know that.
Those are the easy ones. To be honest, I don't even
There
remember
are
the top
no
5.
other top. No, I'm kidding.
There are no
tough.
other good
No.
players.
There's no other good players in the league. No. Derrick Henry or McCaffrey's got to be in there.
So you're 3 for 3 so far.
McCaffrey was in the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
15,
think
I
I'd
think.
expect Henry to be in there because of
One's a quarterback and one's a tight end. So
yeah,
that
I'm blanking on the goddamn quarterback. I think I know. I don't think it's Lamar Jackson.
it is not Lamar Jackson.
What's wrong with me? It's not Rodgers.
It is Rodgers.
It is Rodgers.
And then Kelsey, obviously, the tight end. So it's
shit, right.
top 5 is Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce. Followed up with Devontae Adams, Tom Brady, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, and Josh Allen.
TJ Watt.
What, did I say J.J.?
You did.
TJ.
TJ Watt's
Which I
disgusting.
thought was interesting. I mean, I know he's good and everything.
T.J. Watt had a stellar season last year.
He's had a couple stellar seasons in a row.
Yeah, I think he is a force to be reckoned with. He definitely can win.
He is, and if it
Defensive
wasn't
player
for
of the year
guys like
again.
Aaron Donald, maybe not last year, but the year before, he very well could have won Defensive Player of the Year.
Do we have any gripes with the top 10 whatsoever? Do we think someone should be higher?
I think that's. I mean,
I think it's solid. Can you read me? This is where we find out if I have any. No, he doesn't.
where was
deserve to be
Josh
in there.
Allen on that list?
Number 10.
He's number 10.
Read me 11 through 15.
Stephon Diggs,
Okay.
Russell Wilson, Jalen Ramsey, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill.
I think you could make a case for you can make a case for Russell Wilson. I don't think he belongs there after the way I saw that team perform
I think
in the second half of the season last year. But I mean, if he was in the top 10, I would not be mad whatsoever. I would say that makes sense.
I think you can make a case for where was I going?
Was it
Oh,
Kamara?
Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey, that's right.
He
That's
gave
right,
up.
that's right.
He gave up almost no yards and no receptions after the first week. I think the first week he had a bad game, and then after that, I think like the best performance a opposing wide receiver had was like 4 catches for 40 yards against him. And like at that point, it's you're literally limiting the best opposing wide receiver in every single game.
So what
that
do
you
they
play.
do? They base it on last year?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just like last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could make a case for switching around Brady for Rodgers.
Put Brady above Rodgers.
Rodgers won MVP.
But in terms of their seasons that they had,
I would say it's very close.
Yeah.
I would say it's very close. It's like
It's fair to give Rodgers
It's
the edge because
maybe
the
not
age
put
gap.
Brady
it's
at
really
3.
just because he won MVP. I don't want to say it's just because he won MVP. Aaron Rodgers had a phenomenal season, but you can't have the MVP like lower than 3 or 4. Like at that point, then what's the point of the list? Like he was the most valuable player in the league last year. So I think Brady is a top 5 player in the league still. Like right now, like 44 years old.
yeah. I mean, I don't, looking at it like just based off of player, just how good they are, I think that they're pretty accurate with where they have everybody.
Do we think Tyreek Hill should have been higher than DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I think you could argue that.
You can argue it, but I would.
You look at their
Take
size
Hopkins.
and Hopkins' year last year.
Tyreek Hill had just as good of a year as DeAndre Hopkins last year. That's the reason I say that. And I think take DeAndre Hopkins out of the Cardinals. They're not the same team, but I think you take away Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs offense, they completely change. They're just a completely
I
different.
disagree. I think they have the same impact on their teams.
I think Tyreek Hill's impact on the Chiefs is far greater than any receiver on any team.
I mean, the Chiefs have Travis Kelce.
but that's the
Cardinals
thing.
don't have a Travis Kelce.
No,
But they still the amount of attention that still needs to be paid to Tyreek
You
Hill
have to
is
put
nuts.
2 people
I mean-
on Tyreek Hill every single
you
play.
could argue the same for Hopkins.
Yeah, I was about to say Hopkins.
You leave Hopkins in single
gets double all the
coverage, you're
time
getting
too.
burned.
You
every
all right?
time.
You can put
Man
here's
on
the
man,
thing.
he's
You can
burning
put Jalen Ramsey on DeAndre Hopkins, or you could put like Marshawn Lattimore on DeAndre Hopkins. He still didn't have a great game. Don't get me wrong. You cannot leave Jalen Ramsey on Tyreek Hill 1-on-1. Tyreek Hill is going to burn him
Well,
for an
that's just
80-yard
because of how
touchdown.
fast he is.
That's my point. He stretches the field, and you have to leave a safety over the top. You have to. The impact on the game he has, and how the defense shifts because Tyreek Hill's on the field. I think you can make the argument that he's probably not the best. Him or Devontae would be 1-2 in my opinion.
Here's to your argument with my argument. So we're saying that DeAndre Hopkins and Tyreek Hill had like similar years. No, both really great, but pretty much similar. So DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have the speed that Tyreek Hill has, and they still had the same year.
Well, you got to think who's on that Chiefs offense: Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell was on there last year. Whoever else they had. There's so many more targets to go around. In Arizona's offense, the only person they're throwing to is DeAndre Hopkins. Where if you flip flop them, I bet Arizona's offense looks a lot better. And it's not like I'm saying the Chiefs' offense would look worse, but if you put,
I think the Chiefs' offense would look better with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that offense would still be absolutely ridiculous.
I'm a big fan of DeAndre Hopkins.
I
think
too.
Tyreek Hill is also very good. I think in terms of receiving, Devontae Adams is probably number one.
Talent-wise, yes.
Hopkins, and then Tyreek Hill.
I'm saying impact-wise. Impact on the actual NFL field, how the defense has to line up. I think Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams are the top.
Well,
two.
that's how I ranked it in terms of just overall receiving. I think obviously Tyreek Hill has the speed, but I think in terms of other things, route running, catching, reading the defense, I think that DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae are just as good.
I was going to say, if those two are the top two most impactful, then DeAndre's three, in my opinion. You look at it too,
like Tyreek Hill's 4'11". If you give Devontae or DeAndre Hopkins his speed, think about how much better they'd be.
We've seen Hopkins put up gnarly stats with every quarterback that he's played with also.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Sal, this is probably, talking from a fantasy perspective, this is probably the first year that I would confidently say, give me Tyreek Hill over DeAndre Hopkins 100%.
I think so too. Honestly.
Why do you say that?
I don't,
Why do you say that? I'm just wondering.
I just think his upside's way better. Like, obviously, they're both going to be wide receiver ones in their offense. They're both going to command targets. I think Tyreek Hill can catch 15 touchdowns this year, 14 touchdowns. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins will get more than 10, realistically. I think like 10 is probably his ceiling. And the same thing goes with, they're both going to catch a lot of balls, but Tyreek Hill's are going to be more like 20, 30, 40, 50-yard catches, whereas Hopkins are probably like 10 or 15-yard catches. I just think he has... they both have the same sort of floor, but I think Hill's ceiling this year is way higher than Hopkins' ceiling is this year. Tyreek Hill could easily be the wide receiver one at the end of the year. Easily.
Well said.
So,
yeah. I think DeAndre Hopkins, to me, mirrors a lot of what Breeze and Michael Thomas did a couple years ago in terms of just, you look at small quarterback, only person to throw to. Like, that's it. For Arizona, that's it. Like, small quarterback who can get out of the pocket. Who are you throwing to? DeAndre Hopkins. You extend those plays, DeAndre Hopkins is wide open every time. He finds a way to get open, and it's just a matter of throwing it in his general direction.
I'm not trying to take away anything from DeAndre Hopkins.
No, I know you're not.
But
that's just what I think.
Tyreek Hill is just a force to be reckoned with.
Tyreek Hill is gonna probably be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah. As it looks so far, it's looking like Kelce, Mahomes, and Hill are all gonna end up in the Hall of Fame
for sure. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All on the same team.
Just the offensive weaponry. Andy Reid just sits there every day, and he's just like,
he sits there fat and happy every day. I'd be smiling from ear to ear 24/7.
So you mentioned Michael Thomas. I do have a fantasy-related Michael Thomas question. He is out 8 weeks in a fantasy draft. Are you at any point willing to take Michael Thomas? Obviously, at some point you would.
It'd have to be late if he's still available.
Also, before you answer, Antonio, Jameis Winston is QB1. They announced that.
They announced that.
But go ahead.
Which I think it's not really a surprise.
No,
I'm not surprised at all.
After Taysom Hill's performance in that preseason game, the last preseason game, I don't think there was
He'll throw a lot of touchdowns. Just hopefully Peyton can help cut the interception count, maybe by 10. Maybe he throws 30 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. I mean,
we'll get to see if he's actually put the work in to fix that. So,
when or where would you draft Michael Thomas in a fantasy draft?
These questions are kind of tough for me because, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be till late. However, I can say one thing before a fantasy draft, but until I have my team in front of me after, a set amount of rounds, I really can't tell you. My plan changes throughout the draft.
Now that I think about it, Sal, now that I take him, or now I realize I probably wouldn't take him because he hasn't gotten many reps with Jameis. So it's going to be 8 games, but then you got to do that 1 or 2 game buffer where Michael Thomas is really good and he can catch a football, but there's still got to be that buffer build that chemistry. I think.
I think
it'll just be too late.
I think if you have him drop to like the 10th round.
I was about to say I wouldn't take him.
It'd have to be really
before
late.
the 9th round.
Yeah, I don't think I would take him in a single digit round. Like 10th round or above, Michael Thomas is there. Just the upside that gives your team if you have like, two really good running backs, and then, for the playoff push, you have Michael Thomas coming back after an injury with Jameis Winston, who wants to throw the ball, and he's going to hyper target Michael Thomas because there's literally nobody else in that offense to throw the football to.
Literally.
I think we said this before on the podcast. Alvin Kamara's going to have 500 million catches, and then who is it after that? Marquez Callaway. Like they don't have anybody. So at that point, Michael Thomas is going to come in and demand the football almost every play. So I think he's a good pick later.
They still have. Who am I thinking of?
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes.
No.
They don't have him anymore. Where'd he go? He's another guy that just
retirement.
he signed to retirement.
I think.
Who the hell did he sign with last year?
Last
Was
year?
he with?
Right,
He's
I'll
off.
just-
He's off of San Francisco, right? That's
Yes.
done.
I will get you the Emmanuel Sanders update.
There's someone else that they have. They have a young guy that's pretty good. I forget who. I'm really good at doing that.
No.
What?
He plays for the Bills?
Right. That's right.
Does he?
When did he
does.
sign there?
That's a great pickup. That's a fantastic pickup,
I forgot
actually.
about that.
Wait, when did they sign him?
I just missed that one.
It must have been like when nothing was going on.
I liked it.
Pretty
I like
good.
That.
Him and Diggs.
It's pretty good.
Dude, Emmanuel
And
Sanders
Beasley.
Well, everyone hates Cole Beasley now
Why?
because of his
Oh.
vaccine.
Vaccinations
comments.
things.
I don't give a shit about that. He can catch a fucking football.
Yeah. No, everyone was just like, he's so stupid. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, we like to romanticize and politicize everything. So I think
we do live in the United States
He's
of
a good
America.
football player.
if you just fucking look at it in football terms, he can catch a fucking football, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. As your third receiver, too, I would love to have Cole Beasley as my third
he
receiver.
can do whatever he wants. I don't look to Cole Beasley for political analysis. I don't care. You know what I mean?
That's what a lot of people, I don't want to say fail to recognize, but like people like a pro athlete will like give their take on something like political and
Yeah, like I'm not
Which
holding.
they should never do.
I'm not holding
all
them to that
for-
kind of standard.
I'm all for free speech and expressing what you
say whatever
believe.
you want.
But like if you're a pro athlete, you got to be careful about what you do, because obviously if you're gonna express, don't get mad about people getting mad at you. Because
I think everyone's approach should be the Charles Barkley rule, where it's I'm not a role model. He said that all throughout his career. He's like, you should not look to me for advice.
people look to you for sports.
Yes.
Like kids who are young receivers are looking up to Cole Beasley, wanting to be like, oh man, if I'm small and I'm and I can play wide receiver. I want to be a wide receiver. I look up to Cole Beasley. Like, he's one of my favorite players. They don't look to him being like, who did he vote for?
That's what I mean.
What's his stance on COVID? I need to know.
Unless we're talking extreme
Oh, he
crap
doesn't
here.
like vaccines?
Unless
I
we're
don't
talking
like him
extreme
anymore.
stuff here, I really don't care. Like, if an athlete wants to speak his mind, I don't care, but I'm not going to hold them to some insane standard where I need them to believe a certain
Yeah, and I
thing.
think
I don't care.
it's fans' hive mind in a sense where it's like you have to be perfect. You have to be everything that we want you to be and more. And it's just like they're human beings at the end of the day. They're just like me and you.
I'm just trying to watch football. If he talks, he talks. It's cool.
They just happen to be really good at football.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to sit there and it's different when you try to sit there and preach your political views. And I think too, like what people need to understand if people are listening to this, we're not talking about the oppression and police brutality thing and the racial thing. That is so different from politics. That's a social issue. That is different from vaccines and COVID and who you voted for.
Well,
Obviously, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I hate to get political, but it's in the United States. You're on one side or you're on the other side.
Exactly.
There's not.
It's horrible.
Yeah, no,
That's the problem.
You gotta fall into a category of I believe this, and that, or you fall on the other side where I believe this, and that, and it's like you should have a free opinion on every different topic. It shouldn't be because I believe in vaccinations. I
have to believe this.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
It's not like a chain reaction. Like,
and that's the thing. That's where you have to be very careful when you come out and you say something like that. If this is how you want to be, then you got to be ready for the backlash, because there's always going to be backlash. There's never going to be anyone saying, no, you're right.
You're perfect.
Yep, you're perfect. You don't like vaccines? We don't care. It's never going to be like that. You're always going to see the hate. You're not going to always see the love.
Yep.
Hate always trumps out the love. And that's where it gets sticky. It's like,
just everyone.
I don't know what to believe. I don't know what my beliefs are. Let me go see what
Cole Beasley
Let
says.
me go see what Cole Beasley has to say.
Let
me go see what Josh Allen
It's
thinks.
just a matter of everyone wants to be up in arms about something. Like, everyone wants something to complain about or yell about.
People love arguing, and politics is easy to argue about.
I think mixing politics and sports is a very tricky thing, because people are hive mind and they don't have a mind of their own.
Let's focus on something that's
let's get off that.
Not politics.
I'm all for that.
Final NFL takes. Anything that we missed? Anything that we think we need to talk about?
I'm so excited.
Just think,
yeah, no, it's so close.
I'm saying, dude.
I think
dreaming about it.
I think next week when we do the podcast, we'll probably go over week 1 and all the lines.
One Sunday left, right? Or 2?
There is. Well, is today Sunday? So two weeks from today is NFL kickoff. Well, I shouldn't say that because there's a Thursday night game.
A week from Thursday.
So maybe next week we start doing some lines and some pick 3 and.
I just got goosebumps. Let's go.
Antonio, what's your record gonna be in pick 3 this year? 1,000,000.
I don't think I was first last year.
We were pretty close.
Did I come back?
Well, no.
I came pretty close.
We all came pretty close. I think I started off sucky, and then I ended up coming back.
Two years ago, we did it for the full season, and I think I was first barely, and you were second, and you were third. Last year,
we were all so close.
Last year, we only did it for like half the year, and then I think we stopped like halfway through the year. But I think Nolan was leading last year. I could be wrong though. But
which were always like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, we picked 3 games, so at that point, it's gonna be. The margins are very small. unless you're going 0-3 back to back weeks. Like at that point, then you're out of it.
I'd say we're pretty savvy to not go 0-3.
But the thing about the pick 3 is you're not sitting there like battling the whole entire board. You're not sitting there saying like, all right, I gotta pick 5 games here, 2 games here, like the Sunday night game, the Monday night game.
We just look at matchups that we think are best.
It's just our 3 most confident games, and a lot of the times our most confident game of the week, I feel like we normally get right. Like one of us will be like, the Cowboys on Thursday night. Like, no, I'm not saying that, but like the Cowboys Thursday night, like plus 7.5. They're covering that 100 times out of 100, and I feel like we're normally pretty good about that. So
yeah, I'd say with the amount of sports that we watch and like the amount that we focus on football, I think it should be pretty easy for us to not suck at that.
We
all have had winning records. It's not like we're.
Yeah, no.
So, like, in a case where, say we did actually bet every single week our pick 3s, we would be up money.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
No, it's not fun. But I'm just saying.
You gotta bet a parlay to win like $10,000. That's.
Oh yeah, you need a 10-leg parlay plus
$20 to win 10,000.
30,000 odds. Like, come on.
Just some interesting lines. We're not gonna get in deep to them, but
previews.
Seattle's -2 now against Indy week 1. That's with Carson Wentz in, and it opened the opening line for that game was.
How confident are you that Carson Wentz is in
Indy?
Because I haven't seen anything definitive on that.
He's playing week 1.
Okay,
I know for a fact he's playing week 1.
Okay, you have a Colts like insider.
I have the insider source. Don't worry.
Seattle wants to start off like shit and then go on a streak in the middle of the season.
Isn't that what they always do?
That's the nugget.
But isn't that what they always do?
They started off great last year and then stared playing like shit.
I think that I think he's right.
They were like 5-0.
Indy started the line opened for that game at -3. Like Indy was -3, and then all the Carson Wentz BS happened, and now it's Seattle -2. So I think
if that stays, that will be my pick 3.
Ooh, nice little preview.
But that was that nugget though. We need to start recognizing.
Yeah, so Seattle starts slow, and then I could definitely see that. Like they love like
college football started
2 and 3.
I mean, we didn't mention that, but I mean, I know we don't really. Care,
we don't talk too much college football, but
and I know like
when we get to bowl and playoff time,
and I'm such a person of like I don't care about college football till December.
Oh wow, UConn only lost 45-0.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. UConn was. And it sucks too because like there weren't many games on. Obviously, not very many good games like there is in the beginning of the college football season. But UConn was getting their fair share of hate on Twitter, and it was kind of funny because they suck every year.
They've been good for like one season. Like maybe.
And even
sometimes
then they were mediocre. It wasn't even like they were.
Sometimes a few defensive backs from UConn get drafted to the NFL.
There's always like single.
What was it? Something Andrew Adams?
Something Adams. I forgot.
He was on the Giants.
Anthony Adams, I think maybe.
Something like that.
I'm sure there's still a few people.
I mean, yes. So college football did start. Not too many good games.
You know what? In terms of sports betting, I love to do in the beginning of the college football season.
Bet dogs.
No, bet the favorites that are really favored. It's so easy. Like Fresno was like minus 27.
I can tell you right now,
It was like 27.5.
They were minus 28, and they covered by 17 points. And UConn did not score a single point.
And then the other one was UCLA. They were like minus
versus Hawaii,
17.
yeah.
And they won by like 20 something.
That does make sense for sure.
I love doing that.
There is a
you can't put those lines high enough.
There is a good game next Saturday. It is Miami versus Alabama to start off the season. Miami's ranked like 17th right now, and they have Derrick King. So I'm not going to say Alabama's on upset alert whatsoever, but I think it could be a 10 or 14-point game. I think it might be a little bit closer than people think. I could definitely see that. How's your college football teams looking? I don't even know who you support.
Auburn, right?
Oh, you do love Auburn. You love Auburn.
I don't know. No, I just kind of root for my teams that I've kind of always liked. And
is he still there? Is he still kicking it there?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's gonna be a junior, right?
Root for Florida a little bit. Root for Auburn a little bit.
Off?
I just like I like good college football. You know,
I
don't watch
some. I need some validation. Is Bo Nix still at Auburn?
Give me.
Google it quick.
I got it.
Someone listening to this
Yes,
at home,
he is. He threw for 292 yards and a touchdown.
One.
Yesterday. Oh, wait, no, not yesterday.
They definitely didn't play yesterday.
Friday, January 1st.
Hold on.
Against Northwestern.
Yeah, no, he's...
You're telling me a game from January?
I was like, oh, they must have played. College football started.
He is a junior.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I thought
Sal, last year we were
like,
like, Bo Nix Heisman.
Yeah.
I'm not this year. No.
He wasn't bad last year, but he was.
I think he comes back this year though.
Georgia Clemson week 1. I didn't even see that.
Really?
I like that.
They like their new quarterback down at Clemson. Apparently he's they said he's got like a ridiculous arm.
Uda Buda.
Is that his name?
It's like Udalai or something.
Oh, I have heard of that kid.
Georgia's ranked number 3 though. No, excuse me. Clemson's ranked number 3. Georgia's ranked number 5.
Georgia's always good. That's next week. That's a pretty good game.
That is Saturday the 4th next week.
I like that.
So they're getting busy. My always thing with college football is like
there's never any good matchups to start.
Better matchups in the first like 5 weeks.
So
I don't really care. I don't care.
It's in Clemson. What would you think the spread of that game would be?
Clemson minus 3.
Clemson minus 8.
Clemson minus 3.
Really?
I got it. Nice.
Good job.
I mean, like, I don't know anything about college football, but I think Georgia's probably a good bet there for sure.
I would, yeah. I'd sprinkle a little bit on Georgia. Why not?
SEC team going into Clemson without half their starters from last season.
Yeah, very true. SEC
sprinkle
team.
A little bit of that with a little bit of Miami against Alabama.
Ooh, a little too. Okay.
What's the spread of that game?
The Miami game?
Yeah.
18.5.
What? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Double dog.
Little parlay there.
Little double dog parlay. Little opening Saturday. I mean, I would not.
Getting giddy.
I would not take Miami to win. But,
no.
But their odds are plus 700, so that's
never bet against Alabama. There's teams that you never bet against. Tom Brady. Never bet against the Patriots. Never bet against Alabama.
Correct.
Doesn't matter what it is.
It could be lacrosse.
Yes, bro.
Hold on.
Tom Brady could be go-kart racing.
Speaking of lacrosse. Chris Hogan plays in the NFL again?
Why?
No, I thought
really?
He went to lacrosse.
He did. And
the PLL or whatever.
He did, and then he came back to the NFL.
He did?
He plays on like Carolina or something.
Of course he does.
What? Did you realize he was going to make no money in the PLL?
Probably.
Like realistically, probably.
Well, I'm sure he knew that going into it.
But he probably was like, oh, it'll be worth it. And then he was like, I don't want to play lacrosse. Like he played it in college, and I think he played it for like, I don't know.
I wonder, I was like, wait, I quit the NFL to do this.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know what good lacrosse stats are, but like I wonder if he had good stats.
At Penn State.
No, I mean, wasn't he just playing like?
Yeah, and the
Oh yeah, the PLL. I mean, maybe he was doing shit. I don't know.
I wonder if he
How
was
old
like
is he?
a.
He's got to be late 20s, no? Early 30s?
I
he
think
plays for the Saints. Ew, dude, that's gross.
Oh, so they have him to throw to.
Yeah. So again, they still have nobody.
They went from nobody to nobody.
I'm looking up his stats in Premier League lacrosse.
Because there's 2 leagues of lacrosse. There's the is it the NIL or MLL, and then the PLL.
Is it like he played 2 games? He must have really hated it.
It wasn't the Cannons, right? It was like the oh fuck. I can recognize the colors, but I don't know the team name. It's like a green and white team.
It doesn't even tell me what team.
Some
is
sort of serpent as their logo.
He had
snakes.
2 games
Wait,
played.
I'm getting there. Cobras, snakes. Can you please tell me what team he played for? Now I'm getting upset.
He had 2 games played and no goals, so he probably really did hate it.
Ooh.
Let me see.
Because that was like, they had a big marketing thing with that, because they were like, look, an NFL player came.
The Whip Snakes.
Whip snakes. I knew it was a serpent.
Whip snakes.
And it was like a green and it was, yeah, okay.
Was it green and purple?
Green and white.
Oh.
Wow, what's
Green and purple would have been really cool.
Green
like
and
the
purple.
Joker?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Not what I was thinking.
How do we feel? Okay, so.
Well, he's the residential Juventus fan.
I'm a Juventus fan too. The Juventus. Obviously, he's wanted to leave for a while. The news comes out that Man City, holy fuck, is gonna make a bid for him. I think they made a bid for him. Then Man United said, "Well, we want to make a bid for him," and Ronaldo was like, "Deal."
As soon as City or as soon as United made a bid for him, he was never going to City. He wasn't going to betray his club that he grew up at, and basically became like the face of European soccer along with Messi. But he was never going to City once United said that they wanted him.
Ronaldo at Man United back in the day was a demon.
Mm-hmm. So
he was incredible.
Antonio, Juventus takes a step back without Ronaldo, or you think they don't strip a beat and it's just life as usual?
Probably life as usual, as in
Juventus,
still going
they
to
always find a way.
still going to the Champions League and not winning it.
It's like Barcelona.
Maybe
Barcelona
not.
will still be good.
I mean, they
without
were
Messi.
making it as far as they were with Ronaldo before they got Ronaldo. I mean, granted, those were
They made it
really,
further
really
without
good
Ronaldo.
teams.
They made it further
They
without
did.
Ronaldo. They made it to the Champions
They
League
made it
final
to a final,
and
they
lost to Ronaldo
They made 2 finals.
Yeah, they made 2 finals, and a couple semifinals
with
I
Mandzukic.
believe.
Remember
Mandzukic,
Dybala
Dybala.
scored a bicycle kick in one of those games?
That was insane.
And then Ronaldo scored probably the best bicycle kick
Ever.
other than Wayne Rooney's.
So Juventus still has a lot of young talent to build upon. Obviously, Dybala, like you said, Chiesa, Betancourt, Cuadrado's down
Which I think
there,
Chiesa wanted to move on, no?
I hope he doesn't.
Really?
I'm not sure why. Unless he wanted
I
to.
thought I read something
Unless
about
he
that. I could
wanted
be
to
wrong.
leave Italy. I don't see why he
I
would.
could be wrong, but I thought there was something about that.
I didn't hear that, but you could be right. But Chiesa, especially playing for the Italian team too, you just saw how brilliant and creative of a football player is, and he's just going to be a superstar. That's all I have to say about that. Back to Ronaldo though. Legacy at Juventus, not a great one. I don't think he did anything.
No,
I don't think he did what we expected.
Yeah,
him to do.
because they came up short. 2-3 times for Champions League finals and almost getting to another final and not winning it. They kind of gained the reputation as that team. Why else did you get Ronaldo? You got him to win it.
And he really
And they
didn't. Well, I can't say really. He did not put you over the top in any.
No.
So he scored goals in big games, but it was like never enough. Like he would, and I'm not saying he's got to score 3 goals a game, but there would be games against like, I don't know. They played. I think they got knocked out by Lyon one year.
Yeah, I feel like the chemistry just wasn't there with the other stars as well.
I agree with you because there would be games where he didn't start, and like obviously, like when Ronaldo scores, like he does this whole like see and like just so like he's like more of like his own person. Whereas like you would watch like Juventus games without Ronaldo, and like the team would score and like everyone would like go up and hug each other and they'd be excited about the goal and like whatever. Whereas Ronaldo was just kind of like look at me.
Even at Real, like those last few years, it was kind of like that.
The thing is, well, I think for the whole entire time at Real, it was like
he's
that.
a bit of a diva.
He is a bit of a diva. At the same time, though, I think that's exactly what Real wanted and needed because all of the surrounding pieces around him were like number 2s and number 3s. And it's like, yes, that's the same way at Juventus, but that's not like how Italian football is played.
Yeah, I think the style of play is really what hurt Ronaldo being there. They're not offensive. It's pass around, really methodical way of attacking.
He also hates pressing the ball too. He won't.
Yeah, and their whole thing is high pressure. If you really want to get on the heels of another team, that's how Italian soccer is played, and I don't think that's what he wanted.
And I think this is why the move to United makes a lot of sense because I would say better than anyone else in English soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I keep calling it football, but they do better.
That's the right way to do it.
It is the right way. It is the right way.
It's not soccer.
They counterattack better than anybody else. Man U makes 3 passes and they're in the opposing 18-yard box. And it's like Sancho or Rashford running down the wing, and then you got Pogba just feeding dimes to them the whole entire time.
And that's what the thing that you're going back to your point with Real, where it's a bunch of 2s and 3s. He's playing with a bunch of like 3s and 4s.
So
Pogba is like a 2, like a 2, but like
I like Rashford and Sancho a lot. I think they can be very dynamic, and I think
they're not there yet though.
They're not there yet,
No.
but I think
Rashford. Go ahead, sorry.
I think especially with Ronaldo coming in and like showing them his training and what he does on a daily basis, and he's been there before. He knows how Manchester United works. Like having that presence come in and like show them the way is huge for the young, like all those young players.
And I think too, like with the romantics of football, it's so. I mean, like it's just so different from any sport, and I think just emotionally, soccer is one of the most romanticized. We talked about it too with like when we talked about the Euros, where it's just, it means so much to people. You know what I mean? It's like that's all they have over there is football. Like and it's like if we had NFL and that was it. You know what I mean? We'd be so into football because that's all we know.
Yeah.
Over there, that's all they have. So they're really into it. And I think going back to Man United, just the nostalgia that it's just going to be so much hype.
Very exciting.
I really do think it's going to be something big.
So it's a huge 4-horse. I mean, it was before, but even now, it's a 4-horse race in the Prem.
And we talked about this before the pod. I don't think they got him to win the Champions League. I think they got him to win the Premier League.
I think they obviously want to win the Champions League. It's stupid.
They want to make a run at it.
It's stupid to say
that they realize.
Yeah, it's stupid to say that they like won't or can't, but like at the same time, like he is going to score a lot of goals in the Premier League this year. And what do you need to win games? Goals, obviously. So at that point, if he's putting you over the top in, like 3-4 games, maybe that's the difference between you winning and coming in third in the league. So
I really hope he comes in and just dominates.
I think I don't want to say it's like a good possibility, but I
can see
it.
Just like to prove to
lighting up
the
Premier
teams,
League as soon as he comes back. I could see it.
Like to prove to the Liverpools, to the Man Cities, to the Chelsea's that like you don't need to pay all these players this amount of money. You just need a Ronaldo. You need a GOAT, and then like they just crush them. Like I really hope that's what happens.
So
I don't know. I think it'd be awesome.
I think it's United and City battling for 1-2, and then Chelsea. I don't want to say at all like can't win the Premier League, but I think they're somewhere in that 2, 3, 4
they're in the mix.
So Liverpool's probably a little bit behind those 3, but I'd say it's a 3-horse race. City, United, Chelsea to win the league this year.
Which the league just started.
And West Ham is somehow leading the league, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that always happens in the first few weeks. I think once you get into like week 6, week 7, you really start to dilute. The bad teams go towards the bottom and the good teams float to the top. That's always what happens. And then by the time you get to week 20, you usually know who wins by then. But I think this time it's more exciting because we have more competition now. Where it's like last year, where it's like we knew in week 20 that Man City was gonna win. You know what I mean? It's like it takes the zest out of it because there's no like playoff, there's no postseason. It's just whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. So I think making it more competitive is always a great thing.
A lot to look forward to in that league.
Yes,
100%.
And I'm happy that we can
exciting.
watch it and that we have an outlet to watch it on. Not that we can't stream overseas soccer, but like in Premier League is on NBCSN and we can actually watch it on TV every weekend, which I think is good. And I like that it's on earlier, so it doesn't get in the way of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that they have that I think that they've really pushed
Well,
the Premier
especially
League because of that.
Especially in the United States, like it's 9:30 and there's a soccer game on. It's like, all right, I just woke up and there's sports on. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then with like football, we normally have to wait till 1.
yeah, you're waiting half for the whole day.
Exactly. And then you have it on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then you can watch college football in the afternoon. You know what I mean? And then when college basketball comes on, you got college basketball at night, but you got soccer in the morning. Nothing else is in the morning, so huge market.
Mbappe might go to Real Madrid. It's not a done deal by any means, but it's sounding more and more likely by the day.
I wish that they would just come out and say it.
Well, he's going on a free next year. Like, he's leaving next year no matter what. So if he doesn't leave next year, why not sell him for 180 this year? Like, they're in debt like 150, 180, 200 million, somewhere in that ballpark. If you're PSG, you have no reason not to take that right now. You'd be a stupid business not to take that.
Yeah, because
or you're just letting him.
For Messi, obviously it wouldn't make sense, but now it's like,
oh yeah, no, you're obviously trying to win this year. So like if you're all dead set on like, you know what, we're gonna run it 1 year with Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar and just see how it goes, and regardless, like we'll see if he leaves next year, like whatever. Like you can do that, but at the same time, if you're trying to like be a smart business, there's no reason to let him go for free when you can get almost 200 million for him this year. Like,
and then I think too, if that all falls through, you obviously want to keep him if you possibly can. If I'm PSG, I want to, like, as much as he wants to leave, if it doesn't work out for him, you obviously want to keep it together because it's a done deal that they're winning Champions League.
Ridiculous amount of stars and
Holy
star
shit.
power in one area.
You talk about a super team. They are a super team. I don't think there's anyone in the world that could say that they're not.
That matches up to that level of talent. No,
they're
it's
14,
ridiculous.
15 Barcelona. No, like when Messi, Suarez,
for
Neymar. Who do they have in net? It was Courtois. Was it Courtois, or was it no?
For who, Real?
Barcelona.
Oh, Ter Stegen.
Ter Stegen,
right?
Ter Stegen, who was like standing on his head most of those games. Like that's what they rebuilt with PSG. Just instead of Suarez, you have Mbappe.
I just don't see it. I don't see how PSG don't win the Champions League this year. Their team is just too stacked.
It's way too good.
It's just you got a star player at every position, and that doesn't always win, but at the same time, it should win. You got
and then Donnarumma in that.
Yeah, you got the best player at basically every position that you could ask for. So at that point, I don't see, especially with the money you spent, you should win.
I hope they don't, but they should.
You hate them.
I do.
So who wins then, other than them? Who's second right
well,
now?
it's United.
Chelsea.
It's well. He,
I mean, no, not Chelsea.
He's actually right.
I'm going to say PSG.
What, PSG's 1 and PSG's 2?
Double PSG.
PSG.
It's 1 and 2.
Yep.
They're 1, 2, and 3. So like, there's no.
Honestly, Chelsea is really up there. I think Chelsea built.
I love Chelsea.
I mean, Chelsea built a great squad, and I mean they showed it last
young
year.
Young.
Tuchel coming in was just such a good pickup. It was so smart. Lampard was not getting the job done. As soon as Tuchel came in, it was just a complete shift in mindset and shift in gears, and
I think bringing in Lampard was cool, but obviously they found out very quickly he was just not it.
They got rid of him at exactly the right time. They didn't hang on for him too long. It seemed like it, but they didn't hang on for him too long, and they didn't give up on him too quickly either. So it was like they gave him a chance to show what he's got, and it just wasn't for like it might not be him for like right now, but maybe in a couple of years, like it's a possibility.
Obviously, if it's your first crack at it, you're not gonna.
Well, the other problem too was they spent a whole shitload of money and they expected results, and
I mean that's European soccer. Throw money at it until it works.
Yeah, literally.
That's all it is.
Baseball. Rondo signing with the Lakers.
Yeah, I really like that. I wasn't happy when they let him sign elsewhere after they won the championship. I just think he's a great guy to have on the team. He's still a very good player. Guy to have on the floor. He's
Not
a
a
leader.
good relationship with Westbrook, though.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that. They hate each other.
You haven't seen all the memes on Twitter?
No.
Oh, they're funny.
Honestly, though,
I don't give a shit.
LeBron just like gets them in the locker room and they all kiss.
They're all
just.
I mean.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a problem.
Oh no,
I just
I'm
think
not.
It's funny.
I'm not either. I just completely forgot about that.
They're gonna be
until now.
kumbaya, whatever. That's because at the end of the day, like it's all drama in the NBA.
Yeah, Rondo will
all
throw
fake.
a lob to Westbrook, and
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
all
good.
fake.
Everyone will be like, "Oh yay, friends are done." Oh.
They're gonna come out and be like, "Oh well, we're two competitive guys, and sometimes that gets in the way." Like that's all they're gonna fucking say.
So, does it move the needle at all? Does it? I mean, does it like
Already of where it was, they just got older.
Yeah. Does
Yeah,
it?
they got a little older. It's
Did the
just-
average age go up?
They add another guy that can handle the ball, which is good.
I don't think there was a need for him.
No, I don't think there was a need for him either. But am I happy about the move? Yeah, I like it.
The Lakers are just.
Stockpiling.
What are they doing?
They want the oldest roster ever, I guess. I think
They want to win a championship with the oldest roster.
I think they don't.
They tried that like earlier in the decade though. They were so old in like 2013 when they had Steve
Nash, and he was
Oh,
like
yeah.
500.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
With
think they're winning.
Kobe.
I don't think they're winning the title this year. I just don't. I can see it, but I just that one.
no, I can't.
That definitely wouldn't be my pick to start off the year.
I don't think they're my pick
We'll
either.
see though. We'll see. It all comes down to how well they play with each other.
No real breaking news on baseball, but
No, I mean within
The
the past
Yankees win streak
13
with
game.
snaps.
yeah,
Which is
within the past week, San Diego's moved out of that wild card spot.
San Diego has played very badly recently.
They have
that 18 or that 16 inning game killed them too. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
And that's the Dodgers.
It's getting to a point where every game matters now.
It is. The Reds have since moved up into that wild card spot. I
Love the
believe.
Reds.
Yeah, I do too.
I love the Reds.
They're about I think they're
Nick
game up.
Castellanos.
Nick Castellanos, Joey Votto's having a great year.
Anytime that dude hits a home run, someone dies somewhere. There's no, literally, there was like something on like so there's like this Twitter account that I follow, and it'll tell you like who home run, like, so it'll be like Nick Castellanos like solo home run like 10th of the year or whatever, right? They'll tweet that. So there literally was like a screen grab of like the Kabul airport thing, and then Nick Castellanos homered right after that. Like, did you see?
God.
Did you see it originally started because some announcer on like the Reds broadcast was like, I forgot. Oh, it was like they were in Kansas City, and he's like, "It's the home of the Days," and he picked it up on the hot mic.
Oh, yeah,
and
that was a couple years ago.
it was
right?
like 2-3 years ago, and then he got fired halfway through the broadcast. So he's like on the broadcast, he's like, "I'm sorry, this isn't me." Blah blah blah. And Castellanos comes up and he hits a home run, and the guy's like in the middle of his like apology, and he's like, "And there's a drive to left field, and Castellanos hits a home run."
Yeah, I remember that. That was a meme.
And ever since then, anytime he hits a home run, like something bad happens. Like he's like cursed almost. But I just think that's so
That
funny.
sucks because he hits a lot of homers.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I know, but I think the Reds are going to be the second wild card.
Yeah, it's looking like it at that point. San Diego just looks like shit.
Apparently, the Dodgers have won 16 out of 18 games and have gained on the Giants 1.5 games.
Yeah, that's what's going on with the Yankees and Rays though, because Yankees and Rays are now, since the Yankees lost, both 9-1 in their last 10 games. In the time
the Rays don't lose.
they win every single day, and if you look at it, the amount of time that we gained, 10 whatever games in the Red Sox, the Yankees gained, I think, a half game on the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. The Yankees went from being back like 4 or 5 games on the Red Sox to being up 2 or 3.
Yeah, and
now they're still like 4.5 behind the Rays.
they went on a 13-game winning streak, and they're 5 games back, and I think they were 4.5 games back like a week ago.
So
It was
even with
ridiculous.
this winning streak, if the Sox win today and the Yankees lose, the Sox are 1 game behind.
Yeah, it's very close. It's a
So,
lot of fun.
Oakland is really the only other team that's challenging for that wild card spot, And if
they're dipping right now.
yeah, if they're literally playing their worst ball at the worst time this season.
They are, and the Mariners are playing pretty well right now, and
they've lost 2 out of 3.
They have.
They lost 2
I
out of
know
3.
they were recently just a game behind the A's. Look at their run differential. The Mariners.
Is it good?
It's negative.
Oh, ew.
They're 10 games over 5. They're 10 games over 500, and they have a negative 40 something run differential.
I mean, they're like a fun team. Don't get me wrong, but they're not gonna do anything.
No.
So realistically, Tampa wins the AL East, and we see a very heated Red Sox Yankees
That would be the first Red Sox wild card game too.
That would
like 1 game wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting.
Well, yeah. Normally they win the AL East when they make the playoffs. Normally they're like million and
the
one.
The Yankees have been like the mainstay of the wild card.
The Red Sox are the worst team or their top.
The best team.
Yes. And then when they win the World Series, they always get last place the year after.
I do not want to play the Yankees in a 1 game wild card. I don't know if you think the same way about the Red Sox as a Yankees fan. But I do not want to play the Yankees in a 1 game.
I feel like you are would dread it a lot more than I would.
The thing I said, what
worries me is Chris Sale. With him being back, he looked very good the other day.
He looked good.
He is a first half pitcher. He has been his entire career. He puts up ridiculous numbers in the first half. He finally did get his Cy Young that 1 year with the Red Sox, where he finished the job and pitched very well in the second half, but still his first half stats were ridiculous compared to his second half ones. And he did not play in the first half this year. He's just coming back from an injury.
So he's a 1 half of the season
That's
player.
his half.
Yeah.
It's his first half.
So here's the thing. He gets a good few weeks, month, September to really get into it again. And, come playoff time, he could be at the top of his game.
I don't want to go into the Bronx. If it's in Fenway,
You never want. Any team does not want to play a wild card, 1 game wild card.
No,
against the Yankees in the Bronx.
You look at 2017, the Yankees pushed it to Game 7. They actually went to 5 games in Division Series too. So they played the max amount of games that you could play while not going to the World Series, and they won every single home game. The 2017 playoff run.
It's just that something about that ballpark, man.
It's kind of scary.
It's a little league park, dude.
It's a little intimidating in there because when the Yankees fans get rowdy, they're like throwing shit at you. They like don't care. They're just like Yankees. Like
New York is
dude. They're
from the Bronx.
They're reckless. They're just. Hey, I mean, I would
that rivalry. I mean,
oh yeah, it's you're never.
We know Boston fans could be just as rowdy.
Yeah, my mom.
Not to the point of throwing shit.
My mom got gum thrown in her hair at a Yankees Red Sox game.
Really?
Oh yeah, especially when they play each other, it gets rowdy. I don't know about throwing shit at players and stuff. I think
it happened this year. Verdugo got shit thrown at him in left field.
Yeah, he did.
I think you could agree with me that that's probably exclusive to the Yankees throwing shit at players.
I mean,
come on, Philly.
There's been Red Sox games where
Philly
that
does
happened.
that.
There's been shit thrown at every ballpark. Yankees fans suck. I'm not defending Yankees fans.
I mean, I'm not saying. I'm not talking on a high horse here being a Boston fan. Boston fans suck.
I was going to say.
We're really good at some points.
I'm not going to say it.
We're really good when the teams are winning.
We're not going to say it, but everyone knows what Boston fans are notorious for.
What fan base is perfect?
None.
That's what I'm saying.
The Athletics.
Yeah. Can we just agree?
They have no one there.
Let's, as Boston and New York, let's come to a middle ground. And can we just agree that Philly has the worst fans in the country?
Oh yeah. In terms of a collective as sport, yeah, they suck. They're so bad.
I'm trying.
And they.
No, that's a great question. What is the worst fan base? Is it really Philly?
It might be.
It depends what you mean by worst, but like with the most
least tolerable.
Worst reputation.
Astros fans are bad.
Yes.
I was looking at it though in collective sports.
Give me worst reputation, Philly fans.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people just say Boston or New York fans because that's the easy one, but
Cowboys fans.
Oh yeah, Cowboys fans are bad.
That I can say the worst.
But Phillies fans or Eagles fans might be worse.
A lot of people would actually say Patriots fans, but I would say Giants fans.
I would not say Patriots
fans. People say Patriots fans because of they're just like, you were gifted a dynasty. Sorry. That's my fault.
And Antonio, this is not directed towards you at all whatsoever. I hate Giants fans. You guys win a game and it's literally like you won the fucking Super Bowl. Everyone's like, oh my, it's like that. It's like the lights go out. Everyone is just up in arms, and it's the most exciting thing they've ever seen. It's week 2 against Washington, and you won a football game. It's not the Super Bowl.
It's because we like with the Giants, you have no idea. Every year, it's like it's a crapshoot. We've seen the miracle before, so we're like, wow.
Well, yeah, no, you good. But the thing is, you guys have seen a shooting star, and you're like, wow, we'll never see one of those again. And then right behind it was another shooting star. Yeah. Like, you guys have one. You guys have won and won recently, so you guys shouldn't be like a poverty franchise.
No,
and yet you guys act like you're a poverty franchise. You guys act like you're the Lions. Like when Lions fans win a game, they should be excited. They should be happy. They should celebrate that. You guys are the New York Giants. Like you shouldn't be like accepting 5-11 or 4-12 or 6-10.
God, I don't.
So if you look at it in a collective sport, there's only a few places that have like multiple. Like you look at LA, Philly.
He's definitely right. Philly fans are the worst.
Out of those 4, Philly fans are the worst. I'd say it probably goes Phillies, New York, Boston, LA. LA might be the best.
I mean, LA fans don't care. It's like they're just there to get drunk and like
they don't really
nice
care.
Outside.
Yeah.
Dodger fans are bad.
Well, yeah, there was a Dodger fan that almost killed a Giants fan.
Exclusively Dodgers fans.
Collectively, they're the best, but Dodger fans are bad.
For team fan bases, Dodgers are probably up there for having the worst fans, if we're not talking city-wise. Because, I mean, there's, who cares about Islanders fans,
Can we talk about how about...
they suck, though. Don't get me started on that.
Rangers fans are worse. Don't talk shit about my Islanders. No.
We're not.
The Islanders are my baby.
You're going to get me riled up.
Can we talk about how bad the Cubs have been since the trade deadline?
Yeah, they've just kind of thrown in the towel.
The Cubs are bad.
No, they literally have lost like 28 of like 36
it's
or 35.
They got their one.
I was going to say that they won the World Series. I mean,
they're good for another 100 years.
Do you understand trading all those pieces at the deadline? Or would you have tried to hold on? And
Are Chicago fans bad? We don't really hear about them.
No, they're not the worst.
Not really.
Bears fans,
it would probably be them.
But I feel like they're kind of like just like everybody else. They want their team to be good.
Rizzo was going to be a free agent. If there wasn't contract things going on with this team, I would see no reason why to blow up everything and not try to make some moves in the offseason. Because there's still, obviously still it was a talented core. It was definitely strange to see.
It was strange that they did it in the middle of the year and they just gave up Rizzo to the Yankees like that.
They definitely didn't want to trade anyone that was like to their division or like that was gonna like come back and haunt them. So
the Yankees though.
Yeah, I mean at that point, what do the Cubs care? Like go to the Yankees. Like, well,
I mean, yeah. To be honest, if they waited till the offseason, Rizzo probably would have signed with the Yankees. Anyway. They would have given him fucking, $1 billion.
Yeah. The Mets have also collapsed.
They suck. They're so bad.
I
was very high on the Mets.
You were so high on the Mets.
If Jake DeGrom's healthy.
If Jake DeGrom's healthy, it's a different story. Somewhat.
Well,
not
over the
complete.
past few months, or if he comes back.
No. Like if he never got hurt,
they're done.
I don't think he's coming back.
No.
At this point, you don't bring him back.
No,
absolutely not. They would have to go on like a 14 and like one stretch to have a shot at getting Atlanta.
Yeah, they're down.
Yeah, just to even have a shot.
They're down 6 games on them right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
they're down 7.5 games to them.
Yeah, they're under 500. They're a losing baseball team now.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's that bad.
Talk about a collapse.
Well, they can't hit.
No, they can't.
I've never seen a team. I literally have never seen a team get as. They don't even get like that many runners on base. But anytime they have a runner on base, they are never brought home.
What happened to
not ever, and it's
Lindor?
been like that for the past 5 years.
Who?
Lindor.
He's been kind of hurt here and there.
He's been kind of bad. He's been kind of bad.
But he's been hurt though.
And they traded for.
He started off terrible. He got high. He finally started hitting. Then he got hurt.
He's
and
one
then
of those
he came
that
back.
got the bag and just sucked.
And then they traded for Baez, and Baez has been bad. So it's like your 2 big moves this offseason really didn't work out.
No.
Pete Alonso's the only person that drives in runs on that team.
That's crazy. He's a guy that I could see going to like the Yankees or the Red Sox. Like
Alonso?
Yeah.
He feels like a Met. He just feels like a Met.
He loves the Mets.
There's always those guys on those like. I mean, I'm not saying that the Mets are a smaller team, but like other teams besides the Red Sox and Yankees, you see those guys that are just like studs. Like Giancarlo Stanton's a perfect example. Just a stud down in Miami, and then the Yankees were like,
"He's hot.
Come here."
The
Yankees
is
were like, "Come
hot.
here, come on."
Yeah.
They say they did. I mean, they kind of did the same thing to Lindor because the Mets were trying to play Yankees, but they were just sitting there like, "Come here, what are you doing in Cleveland? Come here."
Stanton has been extremely in the flames lately.
I think it's because he's playing the field. I really do it.
It's like when Damon went to the Yankees, Mookie Betts goes from the Red Sox to the Dodgers. I could so see like Tatis Jr. going to like the Yankees, Red Sox, or Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean they have the most money.
How good is that? How good is baseball?
Baseball's great.
I love baseball.
That it's just
It's
like
my
they just
baby.
do that.
What was I saying? What did
Stan?
I just say? Oh yeah, I honestly think it's because he's playing the field, and he's expressed that he wants to play the field, and that it keeps him in the game more.
What's
I mean,
your
what do you like? You sit around the whole game. You bat 4 times.
Just eating sunflower seeds.
Can
in the
you
dugout.
can you get sick of that at some point? I'm sure.
I could only eat so much. Big
Judge
League
has
Chew
also been
until
raking lately too. Go ahead.
What's your biggest worry with this Yankees team right now?
I
I know you don't have many after they just won 12.
No, yeah, I understand. It's hard to pick them out at this point, but just that the offense regresses anywhere near what it was before. If we start
going back to only being content with hitting home runs.
they're hitting a lot of home runs right now, but they're just getting on base. Guys like Judge are starting to. His batting average has gone up.
Still,
Like
I've never
15
seen him hit a
points
single.
over this winning streak. He was batting 270 something, I believe, when it started, like 278. He's at
Never seen him hit a
295
single.
now.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
I still have never seen him hit a single.
He loves home runs. No,
He does.
I think
I would. Yeah,
I think I agree with you, but I really think my biggest worry looking from the outside is your bullpen needs.
I was about to say the bullpen is. There's some guys lately that have really come up and shown that maybe they can get the big outs. Yeah, no, I definitely agree though.
Chapman,
because these guys aren't established. Chapman's
has
been
very shaky.
a mess.
Very shaky.
Never put him in. That would just be that's the only thing.
All I'm saying is, if it is Red Sox Yankees and we're down 1 run in the ninth inning,
oh my god,
and
Chapman comes up.
you bring Chapman in, we won the game.
I will live bet the Red Sox.
I don't think he does
So
not
bad.
pitch well against the Red Sox historically either. I'll never forget that Devers home run from when he was a rookie. They blew that one game.
We were on vacation together in Cancun.
Yeah.
That's literally what do you remember watching it? Or
Oh
no?
yeah.
It was 3-2 in the ninth inning.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
But
sure.
he always does that. It's become a reputation for him, which sucks because it's like the Clayton Kershaw thing where once it becomes a reputation and people know you for it. It's same thing with the Lamar Jackson thing with the Ravens. Once they put light to it and that's all they care about, it becomes a curse.
Mm-hmm.
The media makes it a curse. It's not a curse until everyone figures it out and goes, you suck when your team has a lead. You're the closer, so you're supposed to close games, and you never close games. You suck. Now it's just like, oh fuck.
I don't know that Chapman figures it out. Honestly,
I don't know either. Another thing though, it's weird though because if Sale pitches in that wild card game, Sale always pitches very good against the Yankees, but the Yankees normally win those games because the Red Sox decide not to give Sale any runs when he pitches against the Yankees.
I want no part of our bullpen coming in either, though. I'm not sitting here and saying like our bullpen is good either. Like if you get into our bullpen,
both our bullpens are very similar at the moment. We have our stars that we're confident in, and then there is just some guys that
there's like 2 to 3 guys in the bullpen I actually trust. Like I kind of trust Josh Adams. I definitely trust Garrett Whitlock. I kind of trust Adam Ottavino. But then it's like Matt Barnes has been really shaky lately.
He's been like Chapman lately where you bring him in and it's like almost every time he's getting hit up.
Robles was terrible and has been terrible lately. Sawamura just always gives up a run when he comes in. Like it's going to be obviously a pitcher's duel, but it's going to be whoever. Like, I feel like it's going to be whatever starter can go longer. I think whatever bullpen it gets to first is going to give it up. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would just kind of hope that guys like Chad Green can clutch up. Britton, he's got to work on some stuff, but
it's going to be which starter cracks first, like what you said.
It's a staring match.
Very true.
I think maybe 6 out of 10 times Garrett Cole wins that.
So yeah, well, all right. What's the betting line in that game? So it's in Yankee Stadium. Garrett Cole versus Sale. I think the Yankees are slight favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Barely, just slightly the favorite in that game.
So then, if it's in Boston, obviously the Red Sox would probably be favored. Do you say that they're a bigger favorite?
I think the Red Sox at home are a bigger favorite than the Yankees at home.
I agree.
Okay. Even with Chris Sale missing all those games.
I think
yes.
I think you're gonna see.
Oh, for a pitcher, if you do come back 100% healthy, that's almost an advantage. Missing all that time.
I think you're gonna see a very hungry Chris Sale over the next 4 or 5 weeks up until his 1-game playoff debutant.
He loves getting like 8 or 9 strikeouts and just.
Oh yeah, no, he just and then he gets mad too. Like he'll strike someone out and walk off the mound, and he'll just he's just angry after.
Almost like a
Tom Brady type.
Yeah. Or I'm blanking on his name. Guy who went to the Dodgers from Washington.
Scherzer.
Yeah, Scherzer and Turner.
It's a Scherzer type where he's just like pitchers are just like sociopaths.
And he's pitching very well since he got over to the Dodgers.
I mean,
Since starting with the Dodgers, he's got a sub.
We've been saying this for almost a month now, or maybe a little bit longer. Giants Dodgers is going to be a great first round series.
And he's got the whole like alpha male thing going on. Like, don't fucking touch me.
That's going 5. That's the easiest bet in the world. That series going 5. It's
goddamn it.
Yeah.
That series is 1,000% going 5 games. I don't see any other way.
There should be a fan vote to like say, hey, if this series happens, MLB, that's going to be the one and only ALDS that can be a 7-game series.
Mm-hmm. That would be great, actually. Imagine the fans would be like, yeah, you guys are playing 7, you're not playing 5.
But
like, no, we
decide that
more
after the
of
5-game, the Giants start celebrating. They're like, yeah. And then
they're like, no, you gotta play 2 more.
They're like, you got game 6 tomorrow. Pack your bags and go to LA.
And that's what I like too about playoff baseball. It's like back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's like you get to find out the next day what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like freaking.
I hate that.
It's not basketball. Yeah, basketball. It's like, all right, the finals is on Wednesday. It's like now you don't wait till Sunday for the next game. It's like, what are we doing in between? Like
nothing. Like,
and then
especially when it's
and then
like that time.
Hockey playoffs will go every other day.
Yeah, it's every other day, and then when it gets later, like second, third round, they they have to travel. They
why
take
is
2 days.
basketball having more rest time in between playoff games than hockey?
because they're basketball players and they're the biggest divas in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all it is.
They
make hundreds of millions of dollars.
They out of any of the sports groups are the least like. I hate listening to basketball players.
Oh, I do too.
It is the worst.
Them complaining about the load management thing and everything like that.
Them
like,
just complaining.
You have no idea. Like, it's like football, we get it because it's week by week and you go and you beat the shit out of yourself for 60 minutes. And then it's like basketball.
Well, you got to think about hockey. So hockey and basketball are like the same schedule, right? Like
they play amount of games.
They play the exact same amount of games. Okay,
same playoff layout.
At that point, you're a basketball player playing 3 games a week. You get a night off in between most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time.
There's back to backs in hockey. Season.
There's teams. So there's teams that play back to back in hockey. You get your shit knocked around.
There's times you play 4 games in 5 days.
You get your shit knocked around, and then you're going to fly halfway across the country after. Whereas, what's the worst thing that happens to you in a basketball game? You hit your head, like you get a bump on your knee.
Did you get elbowed?
Yeah,
you know?
like
half of the time it's just headaches from yelling at refs. I feel like that's all they get. That's what I would get.
I cannot stand watching regular season basketball because all it is just a foul and a free throw shooting contest.
There needs to be just a massive change.
Well,
there needs to be massive reform.
They're trying to get rid of that jumping into the whole foul thing.
That's great, but if I literally just touch you on the arm, it's not a foul. I'm sorry, it's not.
And we got to get into this whole taunting thing in the NFL.
That's terrible.
That's going to be so annoying.
So you can't even make a gesture towards anybody. That's the rule now. So like if there's any sort of so like Tyreek Hill throws up the peace sign, that's a 15-yard penalty. If you're in the end zone and like right after a touchdown and like you point at someone on the defending team or like 15. You look at them, 15 yards.
That's like if they go hardcore with that all year, it's gonna be so annoying.
Well, it's a point of emphasis, and anytime that they make it a point of emphasis, it always is like called.
Which is like the pass interference thing is already annoying enough.
You already know it's going to cause one team to lose week 1. I can tell you that
the
right
Saints.
now. It could be anybody, but literally someone's going to score.
Saints.
Someone's going to score with like 50 seconds left, and they're going to taunt the other team.
The Saints are going to be like 1 game away from a playoff spot.
It's gonna be because of that.
And Jameis is gonna taunt somebody.
Oh my god.
And it's gonna be because of that.
We didn't really talk about Jameis enough. Do we think like it's gonna work out or it's gonna be bad?
I think it'll work out.
They're still an 8-9.
I don't think they're a blockbuster team by any means, but I think for him personally, it's gonna work out.
8-9 win team.
Not a playoff team.
No, and I don't think. I think the main thing is gonna be he doesn't throw interceptions. So I think it.
Those NFC South teams that aren't the Buccaneers, honestly, could all just kind of be hanging around
7-8 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it works out, but obviously, in terms of the team and what their expectations are, probably not. They're probably going to fall short, but I think Jameis, it'll work out for him.
I definitely could say that.
That's all I got, so they got to buy into it.
I'm not a believer in the Saints, but I definitely could see Jameis coming in, at least giving them some momentum to start the season. Maybe they're
I don't think it's Taysom
hot
Hill.
for a little bit, you know.
I don't think it's Taysom Hill, but he's not a quarterback.
Taysom Hill is not a starting. Taysom Hill is not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
No, he's not.
He's a tight end at best.
He's a offensive weapon. That's how I would.
I like how they maneuvered him in and out when Breeze was there, but it's not going to be the same with Jameis.
It's not going to be the same, but I think they're going to try to do the same thing.
Yeah, they definitely will.
Because they don't have, like I said, they don't have anyone else to throw to. So at that point, why not throw Taysom Hill the ball 5 or 6 times and see what he can do?
They're going to do that cute little thing where they put Jameis out wide and Taysom comes in, takes a snap.
That cute little thing.
Like, holy shit, dude! You're
wow, we've never seen
the entire
we've never
defense.
seen this one before.
It's so cute. Like
I don't even. I mean, I know you have to, but I don't even know why you would line up someone against the opposing quarterback. Like, what is he gonna do? Catch it and run for 5 yards? Like, ooh.
I dare you. Like, no, I dare you to throw it to Jameis. I dare you. Right? Like if I'm on offense or on defense, and they line it up like. And I'm supposed to be covering him. I'm like, no. I'm going to go double Alvin Kamara. I'm going to go double Michael Thomas. I'm going to play over the top.
Yeah, throw it to Jameis and see what happens. He's just going to fumble the ball.
No, let's see him run this 5-yard hitch and you actually throw it to him. Like, what the fuck? Let's see him run a route. He's not going to run a route.
No shot.
He's not going to get off the line of scrimmage. It was the same thing that they tried to do with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. That's what they were going to do.
Yeah, the dual quarterback system, which never works out, and you can't run because it's the NFL. And
so stupid.
Do we have any other hot pressing issues before we?
No, I did think about though when we got off of football. I thought about the immaculate streak that the Ravens are on.
20 preseason games in a row.
They haven't lost since 2015. That was the last time they lost a preseason.
Does John Harbaugh like?
I did not know that.
Like, yeah.
There's got to be something.
John Harbaugh makes like $50 million every preseason win or something.
It's either his core beliefs or that if you win the preseason, it's good momentum into the season. That's got to be what it is. Either that or they slipped it in his contract.
That's 5 seasons of winning every game in the preseason. I know preseason football doesn't matter, but that's ridiculous.
It's a cool stat.
He's not buying it. He doesn't care.
No, it's a cool stat.
Like, what is it, though?
I don't know.
A cool stat. It's interesting.
Like, what? No, I'm saying, like, from John Harbaugh, what is, like, the fascination with winning a preseason game?
Probably thinks it's fun.
I mean, a win's a win.
He probably didn't like know about a streak at one point, and then like once it got to like 9, someone probably told him. He was like, "Hey, I like this."
Well, no, I mean, if you go 2 or 3 preseasons in a row without losing a football game, and then like it becomes prevalent, it's like you would think like, oh, eventually we're gonna lose one. They've literally gone 5 seasons without losing a preseason game. Like that's
like if they come out this year and go like 14-3, then I'm like, okay, well. I guess.
Well, I don't think the preseason's the reason for that, but
but I think it's got the only thing I can think of that it possibly is that John Harbaugh just loves it and he thinks it's momentum into the season.
I guess
Moment.
It's just weird. It doesn't make sense.
It's like one of those things that you don't realize it's happening until now.
Literally,
like I had no idea until this season that they had a streak going into the preseason.
They won all 3.
And then they won all 3. Like, that's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they doing? Yeah, that's a crazy stat.
All right. Think we're...
Don't look at me like that.
Think we're done here.
Are we done here?
We must be done here.
Antonio has the final say around here. So,
It's almost
All right.
bedtime for Antonio.
All right, ladies and germs. Maybe
there's
the
a
next
Yankees
time we
game on.
talk.
Yeah, there's a Yankees game on. Antonio started to lay in the chair.
Oh yeah.
My
Oh,
recliner.
Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. What do we think?
Jake Paul wins. Easy.
Jake Paul wins.
Sure, Jake Paul wins.
All right.
Don't say it. Just say Tyron Woodley. Just if we all say Jake Paul, then Tyron Woodley's gonna win.
Do you have money?
Okay,
on
no,
it?
I'll say it because I don't give a shit. Tyron Woodley's.
Thank you. No, just
I
anytime.
did see Tyron Woodley first
Woodley.
round KO was like plus 1400.
Let's go, Tyron.
Like there's.
I just know
Like, I'm
anytime we all say it, it never happens. So
Well, here, like my whole theory behind that is like Jake Paul. This is all a catapult into him actually becoming a professional boxer. And the thing is, like, it's so set up and so scripted that the minute he loses, it loses all credibility.
yeah.
The minute Jake Paul loses, like one of these silly little boxing fights, he's done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So
at that
he
point.
has to win.
I agree.
And I thought it was last night, not tonight.
Oh.
All right,
Adios.
ladies and germs. Next time we talk, hopefully football is right around the corner. Later.